go through on a regular basis, like just to be able to like operate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, I think a lot of people don't realize that at 10, how, you know, you're young, so it's like almost like you have like, kind of like me, like a silent disability.
Yeah.
You know? And so you have like with your autoimmune,
Yep.
but then the endometriosis, and then the POTS,
Yeah, and celiac.
and the celiac. Yeah. Different parts of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like
a healthy lifestyle. Like,
yeah, like they're kind of counterintuitive to each other on some.
right.
And then if I don't move, I decondition.
Yeah.
And then I reverse to the POTS.
Which is huge because like people need to know that like they think, oh, well, so she's getting better now.
Yeah, like your body, you have to do the opposite of what your body tells you to do to get better.
Yeah.
And it's
Which is so counterintuitive, like listen to your body.
yeah, you can't do that and actually get better.
Right.
So it was very hard to like learn that like my body's not like lying to me, but she's misguided.
Yeah.
She needs things that she doesn't think she needs.
Right, 100%. Then you've been dealing with this since you were like what, 14?
I started having symptoms of endometriosis randomly as a kid, but like more so at 11, 12.
Yeah.
So I don't remember the last time I didn't have something
Yeah.
going on.
Right.
Got a lot more intense in like 2021. I think I was 22
Okay.
at that point.
Why do you think it got more intense? Like what was there a moment that something happened?
They removed my gallbladder when I was having an endometriosis flare-up.
That's right. Which really they had no like, there was no correlation.
They just didn't do their job really, and
Right.
like they didn't vet me for celiac even at that point.
Right.
And my celiac and my endo pretty
Yeah.
much go hand in hand with the tummy issues or like
Yeah.
the flare-ups. So for them to not know either,
Yeah.
I'm triggering both all the time.
Right.
And yeah, they kind of blamed an organ that wasn't at fault,
Yeah.
and that organ was holding everything together, which was why I was so stressed.
Right.
So
Your RDL's down in 2 weeks for 10, and go to 20 to 8, to 25. So they incorporated it, and they took it out, and you were like, wait, I'm still sick.
everything else, I got way sicker than ever before.
Yeah.
And I still say like, I'm not the same as I was before that surgery.
Yeah.
My face changed, my hair was falling out, I started graying. Like all kinds of things that weren't supposed to happen.
Right.
My inflammation was insane. It's like, because celiac is one of those things like, it will kill you.
Yeah. Right.
Like it sounds like it's a super manageable condition, but if you're undiagnosed, and like all I knew was I probably should avoid gluten most of the time, I didn't know what cross-contamination was.
Correct. And most people don't.
No.
They just think it's gluten free. They're like, oh my god, it's fine. And it's like,
Yeah,
no.
like if you go to a restaurant and order a grilled chicken, you think, I'm safe. You
Right.
might not be. You don't know how they're
Correct.
preparing it in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So like learning the questions to ask, and like ice cream, I can't go to an ice cream shop. They have to pull out a new tub for me.
Right.
Or give me like a pint from the fridge that's not been touched by something else, you know?
Yeah.
So if I didn't know those things, like I was getting sick and always thinking it was random.
Yeah.
And I just did that for years. And especially got my gallbladder to kind of help like buffer everything.
Yeah.
There was no buffer anymore. So that's why like I went from like losing 20 pounds after surgery to like gaining 50 or 60 pounds in like the span of a year when I wasn't eating food.
And
Because
you
I
were
couldn't eat.
some or 20? No,
22, 23, kind of like right around that age point.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I quite literally was not eating anything
Yeah.
and putting on tens and tens of pounds.
Right.
So
Because your body went through a traumatic experience.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like it didn't know how to deal.
Had no idea what to do.
Right. Yeah, push the knees out. So then,
I think it was 23.
was it 23?
Or
Okay.
maybe the end of 22.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I think it was the end of 22.
Okay, gotcha. And what was kind of your like decision? Like because I remember for a minute there you were on bed rest, right? Like you were like laid out, like couldn't really do things.
Well, for the first 5-6 months after my gallbladder, it ordered all of my food. I couldn't go to the store even though it was right across from my apartment. Like,
Yeah.
it was bad. So once the nausea kind of calmed down
Yeah.
a little, that's when I started like, maybe I should walk. And then I realized I couldn't really walk anymore. I couldn't bend over and grab a fork out of the dishwasher and put it away. Like,
Right.
couldn't take a shower because of the heat temperature.
Yeah,
Like,
and you're literally like, what was it, 20 at the time, 23? Still 22, yeah. What are you old? Yeah.
22 years old.
Big slams right here. So definitely not normal by any case. It's normal. It's just like when I have older clients who come through similar situations, they're like, well, you're just aging.
It's not normal at
You're just older. It's exactly, it's not. Or I guess that acceptable or more normalized. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah, I definitely don't think it should be normal at any age. obviously.
Yeah.
Maybe you're like 100 and it's hard to like do certain things. Okay.
Yeah.
But like, I think your 70s and your 80s,
Right.
even pushing into your 90s, like you should be able to do the basic things you need to do.
Right. So at that point, you know, you're like, I can't really walk well. I'm nauseous. What was it that you were like? That like, because you're like, I can't really walk. I can't really like do the things I want to do. That you were like, oh, I'm gonna like start working with a trainer and like start building muscle.
Well, I mean, I've been trying for years to do it on my own.
Right.
And I've been sick and like I didn't know why I was sick, so I was just going to all these different doctors, and when I finally started getting closer to answers, and I realized it wasn't just me crazy, me being like a sensitive woman, you know, like all those things that they tell you.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, so I literally have conditions of some sort, even if I don't have them confirmed yet. Like, this is serious, it's beyond me, I need help.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna be able to just do this on my own, because every time I try, I hurt myself.
Yeah.
So it was kind of one of those, like, I had to. And again, like, I literally couldn't afford to, but my parents knew I was sick. And were like, we'll help. And so I always mention that. Yeah, just because like a lot of people don't have that privilege.
Correct.
Like I would be like literally homeless on the streets without my parents because of how sick. I mean, I was, but I still am. The only reason I've gotten better at all is because they've like afforded me things like this. And a lot of people just don't have that privilege. So I'm thankful for that, but like it's genuinely a really, really tough thing to navigate without a support system. It's probably impossible. I have this very, very resilient mentality all the time, no matter what happens, or else like you start declining.
So like fight for what you want or something like that? Like fight for what you want? Like is that?
Oh god. You have to. Nobody's just gonna do it.
Exactly right. Right here? You got 6. But yeah, so get rolled on and tight, core tight, eyes up, squeeze and touch and go. Yes ma'am, squeeze. But yeah, because I remember like, keep going. Good job. Good, just 6. Okay, so do you remember, so 2 questions, do you remember the first session that you had with me? Or like the first, I guess, like when you were trying to find out like who to work with and stuff like that. Like what was that like for you?
I think it was a little intimidating, not you, but like the gym.
Yes, because we were somewhere bigger at the time.
Yeah, it was like really big and everybody was like really in shape and I was like, okay. And it was cool though, because I feel like even if I find, like at the time I found that kind of intimidating, I also was like, this is inspiring. Because all these people are here early, they're getting their work in, or they're helping other people get their work in. Like, it's just cool to be in an environment with people that are like what you want to be like. You know, I think before you can be like-minded with people, you have to want to be like them. To get there.
No, I get that.
And I mean, I was a really athletic kid. I did sports, weight training, like I was very active until I couldn't be. But for so long, I just like didn't know why I was sick or life, and I took it on as like, this is a me problem. I just don't want to move, and like that wasn't true. But like working with you definitely helped me to see like I was dealing with very real things that were averse to me. And I had to keep working through them. To like even make progress at all. So like. It was definitely eye-opening though, like how much I really couldn't do anymore. It's like it was.
Well, because I remember us starting and like, I mean, it was very. It was very like you couldn't just sit at the bar like this. Like
I couldn't even pick it up myself.
That was such a good thing for you and for someone who is like, hey, I just need someone to not put their assumptions of what I need to be doing or stereotype me. And actually look at me and be like, listen to me.
Yeah, for sure. Because a lot of times, like, even the doctors, like, they don't see you as often as a trainer, obviously, and so I give them some grace for that. They don't always know how to help you. And so, like, in a situation like this where it's, like, progressive, like, you're trying to get somewhere together and you're seeing it on a regular basis, like, it was very important that they listen. And not push, you know, like, I told you, like, my core had issues, and so, like, I wanted to work out my core, but couldn't do direct impact things on it. And, like, we still incorporate a lot of that.
Yeah.
And that's the reason I don't have my flare up as much as I used to. It's like I would work out and like just to run on the treadmill would cause me to have like a flare, like fire in my stomach.
Yeah.
And I would be able to like go work out again.
Yeah.
So
Lock this in, gut free.
yeah.
No, and that's what's so crazy people don't realize about like flare-ups is that like, yep, eyes up, 1, good job, girl. 2, yes ma'am. 3, good girl. Right. Is that with flare-ups, like explain to them like what a flare-up is.
It's literally like an internal fire.
Right.
For me, it's a lot of like my lower pelvic area. It genuinely feels like I'm burning on the inside.
Right.
So sometimes that can manifest in like my stomach gets sick and I can't eat anything.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just is a constant chronic feeling of like a burning, uncomfortable pain.
Yeah.
With the burning.
Yep.
And there are times, varying levels of it, to where like I can kind of just like get through the day. I might seem a little like lower energy, but I can kind of do it.
Yeah.
To where I'm like rolling over in a ball, screaming, crying. Like
Right.
it goes all the way to like I should be at an emergency room, but there's so many times where like I know that the doctors can't do anything.
Yeah. So
So
you're
there's no
stuck.
point.
You're like, what do I do?
Yeah, like I either spend thousands of dollars to go get like a serious pain med in the ER, or I'm like to the point that I can't breathe and I'm passing out, which you know also happens when you're in a lot of pain.
Right.
And usually that's the only time where I will actually go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, yeah, I'm dehydrated, I'm just unhappy. So it's usually the pain has been happening for days on end at that point. So
Right.
like I can get through one good day of pain like that, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, for sure. All right, lock this in, okay? Eyes up. Yep, we're gonna go 1. Really closer, closer, closer. Matt, don't even lift up before it gets all the way to your shins. Ready? Shins, eyes up. There you go. Rest. Take a break. But yeah, and so that's the thing too. I think people just
I don't have rheumatoid or arthritis that I know of, but like endometriosis and like all those things can kind of look similar to it sometimes. And then like when it's cold out or
Yeah.
like, you know, I'm just stressed out or like there's a lot of histamine in the air, like I'll have joint issues too. So like I can't open and close my hands properly.
So we have to adapt and like
Yeah.
figure it out.
So many just like little things you wouldn't think of, the brain fog, the fatigue, like it's not just, oh, it burns, it's like it affects your whole body. So.
Well, and you talked about earlier, you were saying something like that you'd be a super productive person if you didn't have this stuff.
Oh my gosh.
And I get that because I was a functioning, like, productive adult.
Yeah.
And it's now people are like, oh, you're so busy, you're doing a lot. I'm like,
you don't know what I could be doing though.
no, I'm totally like, you have no clue.
That's how I feel all the time. Like all my friends are like, you're the most like busy person ever. You do so many things. You're so great. And I'm like, I would be doing so much more. Like,
You know, because it affects your mind, and then you don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
And then the brain fog, all of it.
Yeah.
All right, lock this in. Okay, we got 1.
Alright.
Remember, roll it all the way into your shins before you ever lift it up. So you should be touching your shins. Big breath, eyes up. Good. Push those knees out. Good. Much better. So your knees are straight. That was good.
Love it.
You're doing great.
Yay.
But yeah. But yeah, so tell them what's been the biggest thing you've learned working with ADS?
I think just like how much of like a whole body approach to everything is. It's like, it's not just about weightlifting, it's about your brain, your mindset, your nutrition, how much sleep you're getting, the kinds of food you're putting in your. It's like I can kind of know all those things on an individual level, but like before I came to you, my blood work, because I used to get like pretty much like a cyclical 6-month out blood work. My levels for everything were so off. And just literally weight training without even being able to eat properly again, like I couldn't really, like I said, I couldn't eat.
Right.
And so before I could even bridge the gap to food, my blood work started to get better. Just because
of the strength training.
Yeah, because of strength training. And so I had no idea how much muscle was affecting my body, and like no one really tells you that. Like with POTS, the only thing you can do to like counteract it is build muscle in your body. So when you're laying flat and you can't do anything, you have to think like, how can I possibly, while I'm laying flat in my bed, build my leg muscle specifically to help the blood circulate better. And so like when I came in, I was like, focus on nice, be nice to my core, and like we did that, and that changed my blood work. So it's like, it's amazing. Like the movement matters so much. Like a body that's not moving is literally falling apart.
Yes, 100%. You got it. I'm gonna roll it all the way into your shins. Don't rush. Big lift. Eyes up. Yes, Lexi, good. So your biggest advice for people who are, like, I guess, struggling, right? You would say, start just walking, like strength train, like get for like professional, like help with that. Like what else would you say? What about food?
I think it depends on, like, because my body was weird, obviously there were a few things I had to think about with all of my illnesses to think about food. But one thing I've noticed that I think is always good is protein, small meals, consistently. So, like, try to get yourself on a routine. Get that, like, 8 to 9 hours of sleep. Prioritize it. Like, if you have trouble sleeping, deal with the insomnia. Like, if you can't go to a doctor, ashwagandha, magnesium spray, lotion, magnesium baths at night. Those are the things that I have to, like, literally live by even still. That's how I go to sleep, is I take some of those supplements.
Yeah, and don't you think, too, like, with having a structured workout plan, you've been able to, like, watch out, I'm gonna say you've been able to, like, look at, like, what your recovery should be.
So I was gonna say, the sleep matters, and, like, your protein really matters. And I think I had to focus on protein to then even think about, like, sugar. Because at least for any kind of autoimmune, sugar's so inflammatory. And, like, I didn't know how much I was consuming because it's so hidden in so many things.
I do mountain climbers slow.
And so it's like it starts somewhere and then it keeps going the rest of the way around the circle. And like sleep, protein, watch your sugar. Just literally don't give up. You just have to keep trying because your body's gonna get mad at you. It's gonna be confused. Like it's not gonna want to change its routine. It's used to whatever it's gotten used to. And you have to literally retrain it. It's like retraining your brain at the same time as you're retraining your body.
100%. So with that, so moving forward, this is your last session. What are you gonna focus on doing 3 days of strength? You can focus on 2 days a week. You can focus on like walking every day. Like what's kind of the goal?
Well, I've been walking every day, which has been really nice. So I just do that in the morning, and I'm gonna definitely aim for 3 days of strength a week, and just a bit of cardio every day, even if I'm not like running. I want to make sure I'm walking every day.
For sure.
Really want to aim for that 10,000 steps if I can.
Awesome. In 4, 3, 2, and 1.
And then just like communities. Got it. Like a running club. Maybe Pilates once in a while. Like with just like group type thing. Dancing.
Well, now you
dance. I can do things like
now you feel like you're able to do that because before you weren't able to do extra stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Just like even like the basics. So it's like you couldn't imagine doing that shit. Which is awesome. Right back, one more step.
Mountain climbers?
Just one. Lock it in. Good job, bro. Well, I'm just so proud of you.
Thanks.
Good job.